Hi there, today I'm going to review A Gentle Feast. I have a couple of the cycles and I'm gonna let you know what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and how I would use it in the future if I chose to. At this time, I have chosen not to go with A Gentle Feast because it didn't fit my personal criteria. However, you may love it. I know tons of people that do, and the reason I'm doing this review is because I don't see a whole lot of them talking about the things that they don't like. They may not have anything that they don't like about it, but I thought it would be nice to have some reviews showing dislikes as well. So here we go. This is cycle 2, which is Whigs, Wars, and Washington, and that's pretty much the time period of the American colonies, the Revolutionary War, the Constitution, and the 1700s through the 1800s, the 1810 approximately for British and world history. So let's start off with morning time. First thing to love about it is that it is beautiful. She definitely took the time to update her curriculum and created something beautiful that it's open and go straight out of the box. You order the curriculum and then all you have to do is order books or find free copies online, for which she does provide those options in her book list, which comes with the curriculum, or you can buy it by itself. I do recommend that you buy that even if you don't use this curriculum, because it's great to have and it's so easy to click on the links that she already has free options for through LibriVox and archive.org. But if you want to do the work on your own, more than welcome to. So she has her forms here. Her forms kind of follow the PNEU forms for Charlotte Mason, but not all the way, and you can see that there. Here's some more beauty, her table of contents, and she explains what morning time is. Morning time is not actually something that is Charlotte Mason. That's something that was come up with later on, and it came from some homeschooling Charlotte Mason moms. I want to say Cindy Rollins, but I think that I'm wrong. If somebody else knows who it was, feel free to leave it in the comments. I feel like the name is escaping me right now. Anyway, so she explains everything to you, and that explanation comes in every morning time for every year. So here we start, and here are the plans. As we start with the plans, the first thing that I don't like is the Bible reading. So if you see here you have all the days of the week, and so you have New Testament Day, Old Testament Day, Psalms, and Proverbs. And it sounds great until you get into cycle 4, for example. Cycle 4 will go into the epistles and such, which if you're in Form 1, according to Charlotte Mason, you should start off with the Synoptic Gospels. So your first year you read Matthew, then you read Mark, then you read Luke, and so on. And then after, each form has its specific Bible passages that you should be reading. And although this is very easy and open and go and wonderful, I just didn't really like it. I like starting from the beginning per se, and we were going to start with cycle 4 this year, and my kids were definitely not ready for the Bible plan that is in cycle 4, so that was kind of like a bummer for me. Another thing that I didn't really care for is her choice of recitation poetry. I feel like it's just not my taste. And so some people may love it, and that's great. Then this would be perfect for you. However, I like the poems for recitation to be either something my children pick or something from what we're reading already. For Charlotte Mason, your recitation should be per term 2 poems, 2 psalms, and 2 parables, if I recall correctly. If you don't do 2 Psalms and 2 parables, you can do 2 passages of scripture each. I'm a little bit foggy on the details, to be honest, because there has been so much planning that everything is just starting to blend. But there you go. Her picture and composer study selections I like very much. The only thing that's not Charlotte Mason about this is doing a week for the biographies. So she provides videos for them. So all you have to do is go to her YouTube playlist, and they'll be there, which is a super great help. I love the poet selection for here. That's not always the case. I'm here or there for them. So that is my take on morning time. If it were up to me, I would leave it behind. I mean, the one great part about it is having the portraits right here, and she has them printable as well, so you can use them inside of here, or you can use them, you can print them and put them in a menu, whatever works best for you. And that's my favorite part, honestly. Like, everything else I could take it or leave it, but that I really love. One other thing about morning time is that it's a beauty loop. So you don't do everything every day. That's not really how it works with Charlotte Mason. You do picture and composer study once a week. However, you do recitation 4 times a week. So it wouldn't be really a loop. A loop means, like, okay, if you do hymn study today, also hymn or singing, you do singing 4 times a week, 3 or 4 times a week with Charlotte Mason, something like that. I know it's more than 3 once a week. So what a loop is that if you do hymn study today, the next day you move on to poetry, the next day you move on to picture study, and the next day composer study, and the next day poet study, and the next day tales. You don't do everything every day, but for the entire week you will have gotten everything done at least once. And I think that's about it. I mean, she breaks everything down to you by form. So here's poetry by Wordsworth, and that's the poems. Oh, also poetry should be read every single day according to the Charlotte Mason method, not just once a week. So she does recommend poetry tea time, which takes care of that little dislike. So you can read 1 in the morning, 1 poem in the morning, and then you can read the rest in the afternoon for tea time. So for recitation, she has her recitation split up by form. So here's for 1 recitation, 1 poem per 2 weeks, I want to say, because I only see 3 here. So I guess you do recitation for 1 poem every 2 weeks, and you focus on that. There's 3 for form 2, and there's 3 for form 3. So if you have varying ages in your homeschool and you have lots of kids doing different things, then that would be perfect for you to just open and go. If I had to choose, I would go with this and not the morning time, because this is really wonderfully open and go. It's just great, and you can easily switch out whatever you don't like. She has Excel spreadsheets of her schedules online. You cannot print this out online. However, you can print out the Excel version. It has lots of detail in here. So here's your morning time once again. It has pretty much everything you need if you don't like everything that's there. It tells you what Bible you're supposed to read each day, your options for your older students. It has your beauty rotation, and under your beauty rotation, it has items. So really, I feel like the morning time packet is just not needed. Language arts. Her language arts is not my preference. I know people that use it and like it very much. It's just not what I prefer. However, I only have a child in Form 1, so I don't have experience in any of the others, but from what I've looked at, it's just not my cup of tea. Here is an example of week 1. If you have kids in Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, and Form 4, this is perfect. This is what you want to see. You don't want to do anything else if you have that many forms going on in your house. You just want to look and check, which is perfect. That leads me to my next dislike. All right, here we have grade 3, reviewing consonants. In other areas, you have for reading grade 3 specific books. I've heard from other people the same complaints, and it is that sometimes the literature recommended is leveled down. For example, in some areas, she has the step-up books, which are amazing. However, she has it recommended for grade 3. And I wouldn't do that. I would do it for as soon as my kids know how to read. That's how I prefer it. And so certain things she has recommended just for grade 3. And you can, if you want, you could just move it up to your grade 1 or 2 if your kids are ready for it. But my concern with that is that if we keep moving things up, then once we get to Form 4, what is there left at times? Like, obviously, Pride and Prejudice, that's fine. But is there going to be some stuff that we already did in Form 3 because we were moving things up? Just something to think about. So once again, you have your tea time that I talked about here. And your tea time includes a read aloud, some tea on day 3, read aloud. So this is basically your read aloud and your handicraft time. So during tea time, you choose one of your 2 options for read alouds. I loved some of her options, some terms, some of them I didn't. So honestly, for me, I think that it's beautiful. It's easy because she has links to almost everything, which is really such a blessing to be able to just go and click. However, I found myself trading a lot of things out that I just did not prefer. And I guess that's about it. If you love it, you love it. And if you don't, you don't. However, if you need something to bring ease into your life, it's definitely a win in that way. And the rest is just preference. If you have any questions or you have any comments, feel free to leave them below.